Hello everyone, my name is David. Today we're going to take a look at another horrible case with you. Today's story is about Piyush, the son of a millionaire named Piyush, and his wife Jyoti. These two were among the richest people in the city of Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh, India. However, something was about to happen one day that no one could have anticipated. Believe me, if you want to be amazed by the whole story, stay tuned until the end of the video. And before we continue with the story, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. On July 27, 2013, a boy named Piyush was sitting at the police station at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The police asked, "What happened with you?" Piyush, scared, narrates a story from 3 hours ago. Piyush says that around 10:30, his wife Jyoti told him, "Let's go out somewhere. I feel like going out today." Piyush agrees, and they decide to go for a long drive after having dinner at a good hotel. So they first go to a big hotel to have food, where they sit for about an hour and a half. After that, at 12:15, they both sit in the car and drive ahead. Jyoti was very happy and enjoying herself, unaware of what was about to happen to her. When the car moves a little ahead from there, 4 motorcyclists come in front of his car. Seeing them in front of his car, Piyush stops his car. The 4 men get off their motorcycles and surround Piyush's car. Piyush gets the sense that something wrong is about to happen to him. They forcefully open the car window and drag Piyush out, then surround him, beating him. After that, they also beat Piyush's wife Jyoti. Then they push Piyush away from the car, throwing him far, and take his wife, making her sit inside the car and drive her somewhere. Piyush was not understanding what to do, so he first calls his father and tells him about the incident. Piyush felt that it might be a kidnapping case, and those people would demand ransom from them because he came from a very wealthy family. His wife Jyoti also belonged to a very rich family. After that, Piyush tries to hitchhike, but no one gives him a lift. After some time, a motorcyclist gives him a lift. Subsequently, Piyush goes to the police station with the motorcyclist and informs the police about the incident. Upon hearing Piyush's account, the police quickly begin their work because Piyush was the son of a very influential family and his father had significant connections with important people. Therefore, the police promptly initiate the investigation without wasting any time. After Piyush completes the police station report, he returns home. Inside the house, everyone is distressed and astonished. Their marriage had only taken place 2 years ago, and in broad daylight, 4 unknown individuals had kidnapped the daughter-in-law of the house. During this time, the police spread the news to all nearby police stations that some unidentified individuals have kidnapped a girl and fled. The police had also distributed the vehicle number everywhere. Subsequently, the police go to Piyush's house to gather more information. Piyush provides the police with additional details, including when he left home, the hotel where he had dinner, and the route taken by the kidnappers after having their meal. It had been only 1.5 to 2 hours since the incident occurred when the police receive information from the control room that the vehicle they were trying to locate has been found in a desolate part of the city. A police team rushes to the location, and upon opening the vehicle, they discover Jyoti's lifeless body inside. The individuals who had abducted Jyoti had mercilessly ended her life. Upon witnessing this incident, the police were astonished because initially it was a case of a billionaire daughter-in-law going missing, but now it had turned into the murder of a billionaire's daughter-in-law. Following this, the police officers inform Piyush's family that your daughter-in-law has been murdered, creating an atmosphere of sorrow in the household. This is because the girl had been in this house for only 2 years, and after this news, everyone in the house is plunged into shock with tears streaming. Afterward, Piyush is summoned to the hospital to identify Jyoti, as there was to be a post-mortem examination for her. The police were also perplexed by this. In the end, why did the kidnappers kill Jyoti? Because she was the daughter-in-law of a millionaire family, and without ransom demand, they had pushed her into the jaws of death. What could be the reason behind it? On the other hand, to identify Jyoti's body, Piyush and his family come to the hospital. They identify the body, and she was indeed Piyush's wife. However, during this, a police officer notices something strange. He thinks that when Piyush came to file a police report, he was wearing a different colored t-shirt. When the police went to his house, he was still wearing the same t-shirt. But now, When he came to see Jyoti's body at the hospital, he had changed his t-shirt. Although he did not inform this to the police or anyone else, he was thinking hard on his own, that Piyush had enough time to change his t-shirt before coming to the hospital, because in such situations, people lose their senses. And when he received the news of his wife's death, he should have come to the hospital in those clothes. But here, he changed his clothes before coming to the hospital, and this fact seemed strange to the police officer. Therefore, he also informed this to his senior police officer. The senior officers also thought that this was a bit surprising, because someone whose wife has been murdered wouldn't be in the right state of mind. And in this atmosphere, if he got time to change clothes, it would raise suspicion. Before anything else, the police officer's suspicion turns towards Piyush. Although Piyush was in a bad condition, crying in the hospital, the police were now viewing him with suspicion. However, they couldn't arrest him due to a t-shirt, as they had no concrete evidence. The police's perspective had changed. Initially, they sympathized with Piyush, but now doubt clouded their view. Right now, police's suspicion was mainly focused on Piyush. Afterward, Jyoti's post-mortem was conducted, and the report revealed that she had around 17 deep wounds on her body, meaning she was not given a chance to survive. The police were now contemplating whether those individuals had killed Jyoti, but it made little sense as they didn't demand ransom from Jyoti's family. Instead, they directly murdered Jyoti. The police were also considering if this girl had any old and significant enmity with someone here. Upon investigation, the police found that the girl had come to this city 2 years ago after getting married, and whenever Jyoti went out, Piyush was always with her or some other family member. Therefore, a personal enemy seemed unlikely, as she didn't know many people. Subsequently, the police resumed their investigation based on what Piyush had told them about going to a hotel to eat. The police then examined CCTV footage, and when the police watched the footage, they see that Piyush and Jyoti enter the hotel and sit down to eat. Piyush and Jyoti stay in the hotel for almost 1.5 hours. However, the police noticed something strange here. The couple is not talking to each other, even though they had come out of their house to Rome and they have been married for only 2 years. During this time, Piyush mostly talked on the phone and did not speak at all with Jyoti. This seemed a bit odd to the police. The two of them eat here and leave. Afterwards, the police arrive at the place where 4 unknown people beat up Piyush and took away his wife. But there was a lot of traffic there, and people were constantly coming in. No eyewitness was found at the scene, only Piyush was present. However, the police noticed one more thing there. According to Piyush, the 4 people first beat and assaulted him, and then pushed him out of the car. But the police noticed something. There was no sign of any injury on Piyush's body, and his clothes were not torn from anywhere. It also did not seem at all that someone had beaten him up. Now, slowly, all the attention of the police was focused on just one person, and that was Piyush. However, the police still did not have any concrete evidence to prove that Piyush was behind everything. After that, the police started searching for evidence against Piyush, and the first thing they did was retrieve Piyush's call history. Piyush had 5,000 numbers in his mobile, but there was one number from which Piyush used to talk the most and for long durations. When the police traced that number, they found out that it belonged to a girl named Manisha, who lived in the same city of Kanpur. Manisha's family was also very wealthy in Kanpur. She was the daughter of a millionaire family. Piyush, too, belonged to a very affluent family. The police couldn't accuse both of them without concrete evidence. The police had an idea by this point that there must be some connection between Piyush, Jyoti, and Manisha. The police continued their investigation, but they couldn't find any solid evidence. In the end, tired and frustrated, the police called Piyush to the police station for questioning. Here, the police shows the CCTV footage Piyush. The police asked Piyush that on that day, both of you went to the hotel for a meal, but inside the hotel, you both did not talk to each other even once. This implies that your relationship was not going well, but Piyush was very clever. He did not say anything in front of the police that could raise suspicions. On the other hand, the police had also summoned Manisha to the police station. Afterward, the police seats Manisha and Piyush in front of them and informs them about the call recordings. The police tells them that they know everything about their relationship, and it's better to tell the truth with their own mouths. Otherwise, the police knows how to make them speak. Hearing this, Piyush breaks down, and now he starts telling the truth. After that, the police hears a story from Piyush. It turns out that Piyush loved Manisha, but his family opposed considering Manisha as their daughter-in-law. They forcefully arranged his marriage with Jyoti. Although Piyush got married to Jyoti, he never considered Jyoti as his wife. Then the police finds Jyoti's diary, where she had written all her feelings. From the day she entered this house after marriage, she got the status of a daughter-in-law, but she never got the status of a wife. Although people see Piyush as her husband, Piyush does not love her. He loves someone else. Therefore, Jyoti was completely shattered within herself. For this reason, Jyoti and Piyush used to often quarrel, and Piyush would mentally torture Jyoti as well. Now, Piyush was thinking that he couldn't spend his whole life with Jyoti, and he had to marry Manisha instead. On the other hand, he knew that his family was against Manisha, because they already knew about Piyush and Manisha's relationship. So Piyush had no other option, and he planned to kill Jyoti with the help of his girlfriend Manisha. He knew that as long as Jyoti was alive, he couldn't marry Manisha. He planned that when Jyoti would die, he would convince his family and marry Manisha. Then, on July 27th, 2014, Piyush tells his wife that they are going out somewhere. Poor Jyoti also becomes happy. It was the first time her husband had asked her to go out. Little did she know that today was going to be the last day of her life. Firstly, Piyush feeds Jyoti, and then they go on a long drive. During the drive, Piyush had already informed his driver and a contract killer about the route they would take, and it happened exactly as planned. On the way, some people approached their car. First, they strangled Jyoti, and then they stab her with a knife, causing her death. Meanwhile, Piyush is inside the car, witnessing everything. Afterward, Piyush destroys all the evidence, gets out of the car, and as per the plan, the others take the car and leave. Piyush starts screaming for help and asks someone for a lift to go to the police station to file a report. Cases of robbery and loot were common in Kanpur, and Piyush thought this case would also go unnoticed. However, he was wrong. Although everything was going according to Piyush's plan, he made just a small mistake. He changed his t-shirt, and this small error proved costly. If he hadn't changed the t-shirt, perhaps the police wouldn't have noticed him. Changing the t-shirt raised a slight suspicion on Piyush, and this suspicion later turned out to be true for the police. After that, the police caught all the culprits involved in the case and put them all in jail. However, Piyush is still facing a trial, and the court has not reached a decision yet. On the other hand, the police released Manisha on bail. It has been 11 years since this incident occurred, but the lower court has not pronounced any judgment yet. Some time ago, people in Kanpur initiated a movement called Justice for Jyoti. If you appreciate our efforts, like and share this video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, do so now. Thank you.